She said, "I'm not talking to you for a week. Maybe then you'll learn how much better you need to be for me." So I blocked her everywhere. Now she's crying to mutual friends about how hurt she is. But I don't care anymore. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. The notification popped up at 2:37 a.m. LOL, who takes 3 hours to reply? Guess I'm not talking to you this week. I stared at my phone's glow in the dark ER break room. The ache in my lower back from the last trauma call mixing with the now familiar twist in my gut. 4th time this month. First was when I missed her call during a 30-second shower after a 16-hour shift. Second, because I didn't laugh right at her TikTok. Third, when she decided I'd looked at the waitress too long during our anniversary dinner. And now, because a multi-car pileup kept me from texting the second my shift ended. My thumbs hovered over the keyboard before I locked my phone. Not worth it. Last time I'd explained, she'd said I was making excuses. The time before that, gaslighting her. The memory of my birthday last year flashed like a warning light. You got us dinner at the same place we went on our 3rd date? Her lip curled as she stared at the Italian bistro. This is your idea of special? The gift box in my pocket suddenly weighed 1,000 pounds. You said you love this place. For Tuesday nights, maybe. She scrolled Instagram while the waiter poured wine, pausing to like some travel blogger's shirtless beach photo. God, at least pretend to put in effort. When I slid the small box across the table, a dainty sapphire necklace like she'd pinned on Pinterest, she didn't even lift the lid. Wow. Jewelry as an apology for being boring. She pushed it back. Pass. 3 days of silence followed. On the 4th, I showed up with peonies, her favorite. She answered the door in a silk robe, eyebrow arched. Love bombing now? Textbook manipulation. The door clicked shut in my face. You know I need space when you disappoint me, she'd say, painting her nails while I sat on the edge of the bed. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. When I once whispered, "This feels like punishment," she laughed. Don't be dramatic. It's called boundaries. She'd flip her hair, a move I'd once found sexy. Maybe if you cared more about improving than whining, we wouldn't be here. The worst part? I'd started believing her. That my exhaustion from working doubles to pay for her designer gifts was my failure. That forgetting to text back during a code blue meant I was neglectful. Until tonight. As I drove home in the pre-dawn dark, my phone buzzed again. So you're really ignoring me now? Pathetic. The glow of my dashboard lights caught the scar on my left hand from the glass I'd shattered after her last silent treatment. This time, I turned off my phone. The morning sun was just starting to bleed through my curtains when my phone buzzed again. Not her this time, my buddy Mark. Truck's loaded, but we need your back, brother. You in? I rubbed the grit from my eyes. Right. Moving day. I'd promised weeks ago to help Mark and his pregnant wife relocate before their baby came. Sent a quick 30 minutes before dragging myself to the shower. The water was just starting to loosen the knots in my shoulders when I heard my phone ringing over the spray. I knew without looking. Where are you? I've called 4 times. Her text screamed at me when I toweled off. Time-stamped 8:17 a.m. We were supposed to talk about the wedding this morning. Her cousin's destination wedding. The one she'd volunteered me to pay for without asking. My fingers hovered over the screen as another message popped up. You're ignoring me for Mark? That's where your priorities are? Pathetic. The bathroom mirror showed the dark circles under my eyes, the tension in my jaw. I typed slowly. I was in the shower. Told you last night I was helping them move. 3 pulsing dots appeared immediately. I'm not talking to you for a week. Maybe then you'll learn how much better you need to be for me. The phone slipped from my hand, clattering against the tile. Not from anger, from the sudden, startling clarity of that moment. Like when a patient codes and everything slows down, all the noise fading until you see the single thread you need to pull. I picked up my phone and scrolled through our messages. Not the past day or week, the whole damn relationship. Every you should have known better. Every, I wouldn't have to act this way if you just. Every time I'd rearranged shifts, canceled plans, apologized for things I hadn't done. The realization hit like a defibrillator shock. I wasn't her boyfriend. I was her emotional scratching post. Mark texted again. You good, man? I looked around my apartment, at the framed photo of us from her birthday, the one before last year's disaster, at the stack of takeout menus for places she liked, at the half-finished bottle of the expensive bourbon I kept stocked just for her. "Be there in 20, I replied to Mark. Then I opened my contacts, tapped her name, and hit block. Instagram, Twitter, even fucking Venmo. The only thing I didn't block was her number. I changed it instead, the same way we get new codes for crash carts after they've been compromised. On my way out, I paused at the fridge. The magnet still held her grocery list in that loopy handwriting I used to love. I flipped it over and wrote on the blank side, "Learn my lesson. You win." The door clicked shut behind me with finality. The first 48 hours were the strangest. I kept catching myself reaching for my phone during lulls at work, muscle memory trained to check for her messages. But the screen stayed dark. No good morning texts demanding immediate responses, no paragraphs about how someone at the coffee shop had looked at her wrong. On the third day, while restocking the ambulance, my phone finally buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Miss me yet?" Winking face with tongue attached was a meme. The distracted boyfriend photo with her face poorly photoshopped over the woman's. I deleted it without replying. That night, I slept through the night for the first time in 2 years. Day 5 brought the first real test. My phone lit up with, "Emergency. My mom's in the hospital. Answer me." I stared at the message, remembering how her mother had posted from Cancun just yesterday. A fact I only knew because Mark's wife Sarah, against my requests, was still sending me screenshots of her social media spirals. "She's losing it," Sarah had texted earlier with a screenshot of my ex's Instagram story. A black and white selfie with the caption, "When you give 100%, but he only sees 50%. I silenced my phone and went back to calibrating the heart monitor. By day 7, the tone had shifted completely. "Fine. Stay childish. When you're alone and miserable, remember you threw us away." The message came through at 3:17 a.m., the timing deliberate. Old me would have been awake worrying, crafting the perfect response to fix things. New me was deep in REM sleep, having traded midnight anxiety for actual rest. The next morning, I met Sarah and Mark for breakfast. She slid her phone across the table with a raised eyebrow. My ex's latest story showed her clinking glasses with some bearded guy at a bar. The caption, "When upgrade season comes early woman dancing, recognize him?" Sarah asked. I did. The bartender from that place she always insisted we go to, the one who accidentally gave her free drinks while ignoring me. Sarah snorted. She posted that 17 minutes after her, "You'll regret this text." Mark shook his head as he spread jam on toast for his very pregnant wife. Dodged a bullet, brother. For the first time in years, I believed that. The social media posts started getting desperate by week 2. Sarah kept me updated despite my protests, her messages arriving with increasing disbelief. Okay, she just posted a TikTok crying in her car to that, "You will never find someone like me" song. Now she's claiming you were emotionally abusive? Comments are dragging her. I almost felt bad when Sarah sent the screenshot of my ex's clap back to a critical comment. "You don't know our relationship. He promised forever, then ghosted me over nothing." The reply that had gone viral. "Girl, your last 12 stories were about your new man being upgrade season. Pick a struggle." The bartender lasted exactly 9 days. Sarah's screenshot of their breakup was almost poetic. His Instagram story featuring another woman's hand on his thigh, captioned, "When she actually appreciates your mixology skills." My ex's furious comment underneath. Classic narcissist behavior. I was elbow deep in inventory when my phone buzzed with Sarah's latest. She just posted a 10-tweet thread about how all men are trash. The bartender liked it. The hospital intercom crackled as I finished restocking the crash cart. Code blue, ER Bay 3. Code blue, ER. I was sprinting when I saw her. She stood at the nurse's station in the same designer jeans I'd bought her last Christmas, mascara smudged under bloodshot eyes. The receptionist pointed toward me just as the code blue alarm sounded again. "You." She grabbed my arm with manicured nails. "We need to talk. Now." I peeled her fingers off gently, the way we're trained to handle combative patients. "I'm in the middle of a code." "That's bullshit, and you, Thompson." Dr. Chin barked from the trauma bay. "We're losing him." I moved past her without another word. Later, when I came out covered in sweat and someone else's blood, she was gone. A folded note sat on my clipboard. "You broke us." That night, I finally unblocked her number long enough to send one reply. "No, you broke me. I just stopped letting you." Then I changed my number for good. 6 months later, my phone lit up on the nightstand. Another unknown number. I saw your Instagram. You look happy. I didn't need to guess who it was. The same way I didn't need to ask how she'd gotten this number. Some habits die hard. Beside me, Lena stirred, her dark curls spilling across my pillow. Work? She mumbled, still half asleep. Wrong number, I said, thumb hovering over the screen. Lena wouldn't have cared if I told her the truth. That's the thing about dating someone secure. They don't see ghosts as competition. But some ghosts don't know they're dead. Another text popped up. I miss us. I almost laughed. Not at her. At the irony. At the version of me who would have stayed up all night, crafting the perfect response. The version who thought love meant walking on glass. I swiped the notification away and rolled over, tucking a strand of hair behind Lena's ear. She smiled without opening her eyes, her hand finding mine under the sheets. The phone buzzed one last time. I didn't check it. Somewhere out there, she was still talking. But here, silence. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.